What's up, everyone? My name is Joshua Rubin, and this is the Wide Awake podcast.
Are you ready?
Today, my guest is Mdalaga, and he is a refugee from Burundi who was also taken captive and forced to be a child soldier when he was very young. Welcome to the studio, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about Burundi and the war that happened there?
The war which happened there is the civil war. Was started 1994, and it was the war about tribalism. Was a tribal about the Hutu and Tutsi.
And how old were you when the war started?
I was plus minus about 7, 6, about there, or 8. I'm not sure. It's been so long, and I don't know how old I was, and how old I am.
So you don't know how old you are now?
Yeah, my parent was not exposed academically, so could not be able to tell me my age until they died. They died before told me how old I was. Yeah, but when I look now, a child of 7, 6, I assume I was about that age. Yeah.
That must be terrible not knowing when your birthday is and how old you are. I mean, what is that like for you?
It's been so very tough, but now I got used to it, But it's been very, very tough because you don't know when is your birthday. You don't know when you were born. You don't know how old you are. So it's quite a challenge, and it's a tragic life for someone to be like that. Yeah.
I agree, because your age is also part of your identity, and as you grow up and you mature, I know age is just a number, but it's something we as people kind of hold on to very dearly, So I can't even imagine how tough that must be.
Yeah, it's way back it was when I came in the country, I was a bit young, and I was looking for job when the people was like, how old are you? I can't tell. So I miss the opportunity which I could get because of age. So age is very important I think for anybody.
For a lot of things, yeah. And what was your childhood like in Burundi before the war happened?
It was very tough, I was born from very poor family, and there were quite a lot of us. My mother was adopting a lot of children. We were 12 of us, but biological we were 2, but all about the same age. So it was very difficult, It was the single mother to raise that children. It was unbelievable tough.
And I think if we should just get straight into it, can you tell me about the day that the incident happened with you and your family, when the war first impacted your life?
I can't remember date or month, or I can remember that I was praying in the shores of Lake Tanganyika, and suddenly I hear loud voice. Me being young, I couldn't know if it's a gun or is anything. And for any child, always you run to a mother. You run home to look for mother, because it's a safe place that you can be, when you can be around the mother. But for me, it was a tragic. I came from.
So you were praying on the shores of Lake Tanganyika?
Yeah, we have a game where other children.
And then you heard loud gunshots and people screaming.
Yes. So when I went back home, as I approached the house, we had the livestock, So as I approached a house, I saw the blood, and we were not like a slow animal often, In the beginning, I get quite excited, but when as I enter home, and that trail of blood was also going inside, and my shock, I found it was the blood of my mother. Yeah. My mother, she was laying in the floor in her pool of blood. She's, I mean, she was stabbed. I don't know if it's a gunshot but what I know is she had a wound on the neck and some part of the body, you know. So she was in process of dying as I got in the house. Yeah.
And was this rebels that did this?
Yes, I'm sure it might be, but I can't tell who was, you know, because I was not there, so I could not see. But I am sure it's a tribals war. For sure was the people which they are another tribe, which they attack her, because she was a Hutu, so she must be some Tutsi who came in the house and attack her. That's what I can say. Yeah.
And I've read quite a bit about it, and I've seen that. I mean, there was obviously so much killing. I think during the time of that war, I think it said 300,000 people had been killed.
Yeah, I think in the world, you know, is a between Rwanda and Burundi is the same war, you know. In a very short period, they were killed more people than any war ever happened in the world.
In such a short period of time.
In that very short period of time. There were so many people died than anywhere else in the world, as the statistics say.
And when you got home and saw your mother, what did you do?
Yeah, I was young and I went to her and I sit with her down. I tried to uplift her to keep her to some position which she was screaming, and in the process the pain was too hard, so I hold her until she passed on, and the blood from her, it just come over me and it get dry, it get thicker, and after some time she could not move the eyes. It was moved before, but she was fixing her eyes straight on me. So I didn't know what to do. I put her down and I went out as going to find my uncle, you know, someone elder can come to assist. And that is a time I last see her. I believe she was left down to decompose down there. Yeah.
And when you were there with her, were you able to speak at all to her, or?
Yeah, all time was she tried to talk, the voice could not come, you know. She had the open wound on the neck, so the voice could not come. I think the voice box was damaged. Yes, but I heard some word which I could remember, just like look after your brother and never kill. Always run, don't fight. I mean, and I remember before war, I mean, always a famous word: if you can't create, you don't kill. So always she used to advise me, run as much as you can, you know.
And she was saying don't kill,
Yes.
because I'm sure she knew that people do take kids and force them to fight. And
yes, I think she knew that that will happen, whereby some older people will take a young kid to force them into war and to become a child soldier. And I think she was afraid that I might be one. But at the same time, I happened to be one. Yeah.
And once she passed away, you said you ran out of your house?
Yes.
And you went to go look for your uncle?
Yes. I was hoping that I could find him. He's an older person. He can come to assist me with her, you know. I mean, I was completely bewildered, you know. mother is the only person which I have, I had no one. So for me, she was everything to me, and to lose her was tragic for my life, I was completely bewildered as I was asking the world, world of men and women, why I have to be my mother? This is the only one I have. I had no one else.
And after you ran to find your uncle, you said you couldn't find him, right?
Yeah, I was forced with people by force to go with them, They're taking me. I think they were afraid that I'm going to get killed also to be there. So they forced me by force. I was crying to go to my mother, but they took me by force. And I end up in Congo after a long time, after many days of walking.
So the people that took you, you traveled with them to Congo.
Yeah, after many days of walking.
And what was that journey like for you? Because that's a far walk.
Yeah, I was a child. My feet were swollen, and it's something which I went through is not is indescribable. If I can say, I can put in a few words. There's no way I can describe it. What I went through that.
And did you only travel by foot?
Yeah. Yeah. With some extent, it was a place where we canoeing, but most of time was feet. Yeah.
And when you arrived in the Congo, where did you stay?
United Nation UNICEF camp.
A refugee camp?
Yes, UNICEF camp for the children. Yeah. So I end up in UNICEF camp.
What were the conditions like for you in the camp?
It's a tragic. No one can wish someone to be in a camp. I was a child. I had no help, I was someone, I was at an age where I need someone to look after me. And he had no one to look after me. So it was a tragic which I can't explain, no word can explain. This is a child which you have to have a parent or someone elder look after him. But unfortunately, I had no one.
And were you staying with other families or with other kids?
Some families, yeah. It was a mix, yeah. It was a mix, yeah. I stay in some family, and there's come time which I was by my own, it was a mix up situation. It was a mix up situation that which I was, yeah.
And did you eventually ever find any of your family members again?
I found my brother, which was killed there, and regard to that, no.
So you found your brother at the camp?
Yeah, and there were rebels attacking the camp, try to, catch the children to enslave them to become a child soldier. In the process, that's where I get killed.
So while you were at the camp, you ran into your brother?
Yes.
And the rebels were actually attacking the camp?
Attacking the camp, want to children to enslave them into a child soldier. Because the UNICEF camp, always is a target, is where they can get the children. So they were taking children into a soldier. So in that process is where he was shot.
Can you tell me more about that day? What exactly happened?
I remember they come the attack, so we start to run. I was pulling him as we walk, and I heard gunshot. That he remind me back home, Iranian conscious, because he fell down, and when he Iranian conscious, actually, that saved me.
So you fell unconscious?
Yes. When I was running with him, I pulled him. As he fell down, when he shot, I ran unconscious. So the blood from him streaming over me also. And that's what he saved me. He saved my life. Because the rebels, when they come there, they thought I was also shot. But he actually was my brother Brad. I mean, also, I didn't bury him. It came a time that we did leave him, that I believe he was compost there.
So he was just left there.
Yeah. So I believe it was decomposed also.
And then what happened after that incident?
After a while, when he again conscious, is when they realized I was there, and they kidnapped me also with the other children. We end up in their hand. That was the beginning for me as a child soldier. That was the moment which I becomes child soldier. And yeah.
And when they took you, what kind of things did they make you do? Were you fighting or?
We were kind of too young to fight. So what they used us, we take a food from where they are to the front line where people are, you know. It was like our job. From one side of the camp to another side, I mean, from where their battalion is, to take a food to forward where people are fighting in front, and carrying people who are wounded there, carrying them back. So we did that for a while.
So you were like a runner?
Yes. We were too young to fight, so they make us as a runner.
How were you treated in the camp?
Very bad. I mean, you're not like a human, you know. They treat you as a soldier, but you are a baby. I mean, you're a kid. How can kid be a soldier? You know.
But they treat you like you're an adult.
Yes, yeah. I mean, they must put you online. You must see brainwash in order to obey and to line with them, you know. So you treated as an adult, and the adult as a soldier.
And I know in these, I know a lot of the time the kids that were taken were treated and abused.
Yes, yes.
Did you ever experience any of that?
Physically, yes. I was beaten up many times. Some of my friends, I mean, which they were friends we meet there in the camp, you know, they were killed because of that, you know. So many times we were beaten. So we can be online, we can stay in line, you know.
And did you and your friends ever try and escape?
Yes, we try many times. We try first time, they caught us. Second time, third time, they take your lips and cut, put a knife. I mean, cut us in the bayonet knife. So we did try to escape, and in the process, I lost some of friend. When third time, fourth time, they took 5 of children, which they are thinking the one who influenced us to escape. And they were older than us, you know. So they take those 5, they put them in front, and they took younger than them from them. They were older, but they took younger than them. They line them also, and they give them gun, and their duty was to shoot those who are older.
So 5 younger kids had to shoot the 5 older kids, who they thought was the ones that instigated the escape.
Yes. And they did that, and us, we got warning. If we're going to try again, we're going to be the one who's going to get shot. So they cut our lips, knowing that if you escape again and they caught you, you are one of guy who caught, like you escape and you got a lip mark.
It's a way of marking you so they know who's already tried to escape.
Yes, and that there is no way that you're gonna have mercy again. When they see you got a mark, straight you're gonna get killed.
But you still did try to escape again.
We escape. We did try again, and we make sure that never caught. And if you are caught, you just know that we're gonna be dead. So.
And what happened with that escape? How did that go?
There's an area which people are not guarding. It was like forest, and no one think you're gonna be crazy enough to go there. In the forest, there's a wild animal and everything, mosquito, everything. No one with a right mind will try to go to the forest, because you know that it is your end.
If you go and you won't come out.
Yes. A lot of swamp, those swamp, they got the crocodile and there's so many wild animal that no one wish to go there. So
how many of you managed to escape?
I think we were 30. Yeah, 30. I can't remember that well, but
there was a lot of you.
Yeah, and when we try to escape in the process. That's why in the beginning, one of our friend, he died. He was the first to die. As we escaped, we were crossing the river. As we crossed it, I was like second from the last, or number 4 from the last. So as I crossed it, we saw someone else in our back. He just screaming, and he went down. We could not sure if it's a crocodile, but we assume it's crocodile. He was catch him, and he went down, and up we see a blood, but he wasn't. The water was the kind of milk water because of rain and the.
Because of the rapids and stuff, the water was probably very dirty.
Yes, you could not. It was not clear. So we see it easy. He went down. He come up again, down, up. So it was like he push him and try to drown him while he's biting him. That was the first death. So in our process, as we move, first person we lose him there in the. River, and after that it was a tragic and unexplainable. We start to lose one by one as we go. One by one get died. So many different deaths. Sickness, animals, disease, snake. One by one start to go. And the sad thing is some people will die like today, sometime we're going in circle, and we will come back to that area where our friend died. And because so many days pass, when we got there, we start to smell from distance, but we don't know where we're going, and we don't know where it's about it. Yeah.
So you were just going around in circles the whole time in the rainforest because you didn't know where you were going?
Yes, the forest is so thick that there's no direction. We don't know where we're going. The tree are tall, maybe 300 years old. They're tall, we can't see. We didn't know where we are. We didn't know where we are going. We just lost for a long time. I remember a night, we could not sleep at all, Always when you hear movement, you are very, very scared. What it is I'm going to be next. Either a snake, maybe it's going to bite me, or is the animal is going to bite me. So always fear of being next, because we didn't hope if we're going to survive. There's a time we went, I think, from 30 to 25 or 30 to 8 or 7 of us, So you know that you are next. There's no way you're going to survive that. There's no way you're going to survive. And the worst, it was when we were left, 2 of us. That is who was worse than all. Because I didn't want to left, alone, like to be the last. So all the time, I wish to die first. And my friend, he wish same thing.
Because you didn't want to be left alone.
Yes. Because if he died, I was going to be alone. How am I going to survive? Or if he died, he was going to be alone. So we are all praying for...
to be the next one.
Yes.
So you guys went from roughly 25, 30 people down to 2 people.
Yes.
And while you were in the forest, what kind of animals did you come across? I know you said snakes and crocodiles.
Yeah. And the cheetah, even he killed one of us.
A cheetah killed one of you guys.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I think he was a cub, and my friend, he went close to him, so he was in protection of protecting cub.
So the cheetah was protecting her cubs.
Yeah, so he attacked her. He attacked him. I think he's some eyes kind of, he got you off, and yeah.
And now that there was only 2 of you guys left, how did you eventually manage to escape the rainforest?
Yeah, after a long time of walking in circle, one day we saw very far there's a mountain. So we start to walk toward that mountain. I can say it's by God's grace for us to be able to see that, because we never see before, We were in the center of forest. You can't see 100 meters from you. You can't see anything there, or 10 meters from you. You can't see. So we were in the situation that you could see mountain. So we walk for, I think, 3 days, 4 days. Go toward that mountain until we get there. And when we got there, we found the United Nations truck, busy searching the forest, because they know some people lost in the forest.
So they were searching the edges of the forest because so many people would run into the forest to escape.
Yes.
And get lost.
Yes. And that process is when my friend also got shot. As we come out, rebels, they shot him. So this United Nations, as he searching for the children, they found him shot, and they took him and I to the hospital where they amputated him his leg.
He survived though?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
He's here. He's someone which I came with.
And how did you manage to find your way from the Congo to South Africa?
Yeah, that is another tough story. Was someone who helped us. He was working in the United Nations, which he recognized us. He recognized me from first UNICEF camp, whereby he assisted us with the money. He helped us from Congo to Zambia to Zimbabwe, and we find some guys who were much older than us. So in the process, they are one who bring us here. Yeah, and from here we got separate. I remember I came to Johannesburg, and that time there were people looking for the body part of human. So one pastor told me from church, Methodist church, he told me, if you stay here because you are a child, you got possibility of be killed, and your body can be used for the muti,
for the human trafficking for body parts.
Yes. He says, so here I don't think it's good for you. And if you're going to Durban, it's the same thing. The muti, Eastern Cape is the same thing. Only place you can go in Cape Town. I think because Cape Town, majority people are not black, and the black people, they are one who practice that.
Those traditions.
Yes.
And I'm sure with you as a refugee, being very young with no family, you would be a target.
Yes. Yeah, that's what he thought. And that's why he helped me to get me a ticket of train
to Cape Town. And I know life here has been just as tough for you as well.
I came from nanny school, and I went to grade 12.
So when you got to Cape Town,
yes,
because you had no schooling, you went straight into grade 12?
Yeah, I left home, I was grade 1. So I came here, Cape Town, I went straight to grade 12. And by God's grace, I passed my matric in 1 year. And I was study alone. I didn't have a teacher or lecture.
And you still managed to pass your matric?
Yes. Plus it was corresponding, So to go further in university, that's where I stuck, because
it's very expensive. Yeah.
I have to first fight for survive. I mean, that's where I stuck, and very sad. Yeah, very, very sad.
And what do you do now to sustain yourself and make money?
Yeah, I did go to Cape College. I trained myself in a different thing, like plumbing and the other trade I learn as I go through, So now I work as a builder. I can do it, but because I don't have resource,
it's almost impossible.
Yeah. I mean, even some people, once you don't have resource, automatically they doubt you if you can do the job.
And I know you, and I know you're a hard worker, and I know you're incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say to anyone out there, if you're in the Cape Town area and you have potential work for Mdalaga, please contact me on Instagram, Josh Wide Awake, and I can put you in touch with him. If you have any jobs or anything like that, just contact me, okay?
Thank you.
It's a pleasure, Mdalaga. Thank you so much for coming down and speaking to me today and sharing your story.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
That brings us to the end of this episode of the Wide Awake podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys got something out of Mdalaga's story. It's very powerful, and I'm sure one that's quite hard to tell. So I appreciate you coming down.
Thank you.
Anyway, guys, cheers. I'll see you next week.